further to the radical left, which is not good to see. It's really not. Started out as just a group of all these old housewives who virtue signal back and forth. Typically they're sitting in their chair, and these women are, it's like when they're either retired, of course, because they're too old, or they have the day off. And what do? Well, they're in their easy chair, and they have the remote control for the TV, which is going in the background. They have the remote in one hand, and they have the telephone in the other. And they get on the phone, and they gossip. And they virtue signal back and forth. That's what they do. Well, that's how it began. And then, a number of years ago, you had much more perverse, shall we say, and such individuals move into the neighborhood. Now, it gets better because some of these individuals are current or past law enforcement or police or state. It's interesting how these people want government power and authority, isn't it? That's not new. I've been seeing this forever, since the 70s. They basically want this so that they can abuse people, men particularly. These are lesbian dykes I'm talking about, and they typically they hate men unless they're relatives, and then I guess they figure they have to like them. But yeah, there's a nest of those very nearby, and they have caused some issues for me and undoubtedly for others. And they're also in this virtue signaling ring, unfortunately. But yeah, it also tied back to the oldest family in the neighborhood, the Van Dykes, who, it's a logging family. Essentially they're just a bunch of mountain hillbilly types that been pulling logs down out of these mountains for 100 years. Well, so this is like one of the great-grandkids of those who started it. And yeah, well, so now they're out here with their friends, and yeah, that's another problem. They wouldn't be really, but they've chosen to be. Yeah, in fact, they've been entirely unfriendly and hostile, sort of a unfriendly demeanor towards me since they arrived here. I have no idea why. Very limited interaction with them. There was one who was there for quite some time that would stand out in the yard and just glare at me every time I would pull in or out of my driveway. No idea why. When Terry Glover, when she used to live here, same thing. This individual, this woman who's built like a man, would just, if outside, would glare at us as we're on our way in and out. That was just weird. Pissed Terry off royally. I always would, just say, Terry, just ignore him, Don't flip him off or anything, just ignore him. Yes, well, One day we even were pulling out of the driveway and I look over and hiding inside the house and observing us with a spotting scope on a tripod was this same individual. Now this was a big scope, big coffee can diameter, objective lens on the one end, and that's what we were looking at, and they were staring at us. That's really nice. It was probably attached to a camera, maybe not, but I would assume that was police equipment. As I mentioned, one of these women that lived over there was, if not currently employed with the Skagit County Sheriff's Department, and was bringing home equipment to play with, I guess. I don't know what the hell, but they're doing with something like that. That's about a $12,000 or $13,000 telescopic lens, and of course our tax dollars paid for that crap. And here they are using it to glare at me, just as they do when they're out in the open, glare. Okay, so they're assholes, so what, Just weird. It is damn weird. That one who is doing all the glaring, she's as big as a man. She's about 6 feet tall, husky, strongly built. Weird. I'm almost positive that she is Antifa, because she's always is or was, I don't know where that individual is currently. I haven't seen them lately, but they constantly traveling back and forth to Seattle, and the timing coincided with various rallies and demonstrations, either on the freedom of speech people or the MAGA people or whoever. And then Antifa would show up, those faggots. And we all know about them. Then someone came over and stole a very heavy and expensive padlock off the door to my house. I had come in and I was exhausted and left the thing in the hasp out there overnight, unshackled. Now they have no key to it, but they have the lock itself, which they took. And what use would anybody have for a lock you had no key for? You can't even have a key made for it per se. It's not possible. You have to buy a whole new cylinder set up and have a locksmith rebuild it. But yet they took it. Why? Well, that damn thing is a deadly weapon. I mean, if you put that on the end of a piece of a chain or a wire, you hit somebody with it, you'd kill them. You'd split their head wide open, it'd kill them. It wouldn't. It's not like these little locks I've seen used in videos and stuff on YouTube and whatnot. That would literally smash someone's head in. Now, who would do this? Who would come up here and get that? Well, they would. That dyke. That's a big, burly, bolshy dyke. And being a past or current state employee, they still feel, though they're not even in their jurisdiction, they have the authority to do what? Trespass onto my property, well, steal my property, glare at me in a very unkind way on my way in and out of my driveway. They feel at liberty to do all this. Well, the only thing I can think is that they're psychopaths. And I can just see, acting as police. Isn't that wonderful? These psychopaths, which that's not unheard of at all. That's, unfortunately, police getting arrested for breaking the law and so forth is becoming more common all the time. There's some crazy ones in there, without question. I'm not saying all of them are by any means, but there damn sure are more than one is too many. You get one individual like that, And that's enough to get somebody killed right there. No. Crazy people don't belong in positions of power and authority, which they seem to crave and pursue. That's damn dangerous. And yet, apparently, these county or municipal departments don't do any psychological screenings on potential employees. They just hire them or something. I don't know. Or maybe they're psychopaths are smart enough to fool the tests. That's possible also. Yeah, whatever. So at any rate, yeah, now you even got young people who don't know the difference between Obamacare and literally the traditional Medicaid, going around griping and snarkily stabbing at people for having the Medicaid rather than, thinking that they are paying an Obamacare tax on their account. And, well, that's all for the moment.